There are three basic methods for creating a PDF in Adobe Acrobat 10. We're going to run through each of those three, starting with what's probably the best method, which is to begin with the original version of the document and convert that into a PDF. In this case, we're looking at a Word document that we'd like to convert into a PDF. Working from the Word document rather than from a scan of a document, for example, is preferable because you're going to get a higher quality finished PDF, you're going to get a smaller file size, and you'll have the benefits of having the document be searchable immediately without having to take extra steps to add that functionality. So to convert this Word document into a PDF, and I'm in Word 2010, I'm going to select the Acrobat menu at the top side of the page and click Create PDF. You just select the location where you'd like to save the PDF and click Save. The conversion should be pretty quick depending on the length of the file, and Acrobat will open it so that you can look the document over and make sure it converted properly. Again, you'll notice that this is very clear. If I select a text that's selectable, which means it's also searchable, and I could copy this into another document if necessary. The second method for creating a PDF, and probably the fastest method, is to simply locate the files that you'd like to convert in Windows. In this case, I'm going to convert one of these TIFF files. A TIFF file is a scanned document, and I just have to right-click on the document that I'd like to convert and select Convert to Adobe PDF. The conversion will happen automatically and it'll launch in Acrobat, and you'll notice at the top of the screen, rather than saying .tif, it now says .pdf. And all I'd have to do is save the file, and I'd have a PDF. The third method for creating a PDF is to just launch Adobe Acrobat Pro. You'll see a window that looks something like this, and on the right side there's an option to create PDF. If I click on that, I can just locate the documents I'd like to convert. In this case, I'd like to convert this group of TIFF files. I can select individual files, or I can select multiple by holding down the Control key, or I can select Arrange by holding down the Shift key. Once you've selected the documents you'd like to convert, just click Open, and Acrobat will automatically convert each of these into a separate PDF. So if I click on the Window menu at the top, I can now see that I have 8 separate PDF files that have been created from those 8 separate TIFF files. Regardless of the method you use to create the PDFs, you may find that you now need to manipulate the PDFs in some way. For example, in this case, we had 8 separate documents that we created or we converted into 8 separate PDFs. But they're really each just a single page of the same document. So we'd like to combine all of these into a single file. To do that, I'm going to go to the Create menu in the upper right or upper left-hand corner and select Combine Files into a single PDF. Now I have different options here. I can actually drag and drop specific PDFs into this area of the screen, or I can go to the upper left-hand corner to add files. From here, I can click Add Files or Add Folders, which will allow me to look up folders within my file system. Or I can select Add Open Files because I happen to have all of those PDFs still open. So I'm going to select that option. I'll see a list of all of the PDFs I currently have open in Acrobat, and I just hold down the Shift key and select all of the documents that I want, and click Add Files. They'll be added to the list here, but you'll notice that they're out of order. To fix that, I can just click on them and click the Move Up and Move Down buttons to put them in the order that I'd like. So I'll just quickly reorder these. Like that. And then finally I'll click Combine Files in the lower right-hand corner. Acrobat will quickly add those together, and you'll now see I have a multiple page PDF. If I had, for example, accidentally put a couple of the pages in the wrong order, I can correct that problem pretty easily. I just click on the left side on the Pages thumbnail, and I'll see all of the thumbnails for all of the pages in my document. I can now go in and drag them by clicking and holding to rearrange those pages. Just that easy. If I have a second document open, and we'll open one of these PDF files. I can click on the page thumbnails for this document as well, and I can actually drag from one document to another. It's an easy way to add pages from one document into another PDF. If I'd like to delete a page from this PDF, I can right-click on it and select Delete Pages. I can either then choose the selected page or choose a range of pages. I can also right-click on a page and extract it. Extracting it rather than deleting it from the document will simply create a copy of it as a separate PDF, which is useful if there's a specific page or a range of pages within a document that you'd like to pull out as an excerpt. I can also replace pages, so if you needed to make a correction to a single page within a document, you can very easily swap out PDFs like that. You can get to a lot of these same options by clicking on the Tools menu and selecting Pages. And here you'll see the options to extract, replace, and certain other options as well, including delete. If you were working from a scanned document, as we were in this case, another step you may want to take is to run an optical character recognition. Optical character recognition, or just OCR, is a way of recognizing the text within a document so that it's searchable and so that you can copy and paste it. You can tell if a document has been OCR'd pretty easily by selecting the selection tool and just trying to select the text. If you see a box being drawn, that means it hasn't been OCR'd. If it's been OCR'd, it'll be just like any Word document or other productivity software where when you select the text, it actually just the text is highlighted. So to OCR this text, it's pretty easy. We'll just click Recognize Text under the Tools menu. See a few different options. You can OCR multiple files at a single time. We're just going to OCR this file that we happen to have open. So I'll click on that. I'll select that I want to OCR all pages. And then I have a few settings options. You can click Edit to get into these settings. You'll want to make sure that you match the primary OCR language to the language of the original document. So it's almost always going to be English US for us, but there are a lot of other options in here. Next, for PDF output style, you have a few different options. Clear Scan will just replace the scan that you have currently, which is basically an image of a document. It'll replace that with the text that it feels like it identifies. That's going to create the smallest file size and probably the most readable document, but it'll eliminate that original image. So it's not always the best method, especially if you're working with a legal document where there may be a good reason to preserve the original scanned document. To preserve that scanned document, you'll want to choose either Searchable Image or Searchable Image Exact. The only difference between these two is that the Exact option will preserve the original image in its original high quality, whereas Searchable Image will reduce it a little bit to create a slightly smaller, more manageable file size. We're going to click Searchable Image and click OK, and then click OK again to recognize the text. The OCR will quickly run through the document page by page, trying to identify the text. It'll also make small changes to the document. For example, it'll try to straighten out pages that may have been scanned slightly crookedly, or generally just try to clean up the scanned document to make it a little bit more usable. Once the OCR is done, you'll notice that I can now, using the selection tool, select the text. I can also do a search. So, for example, if I wanted to search for the word fire, it'll now locate those words because the text has been recognized. Sometimes OCR is not going to be perfect. It's really going to depend on the quality of the document that you're scanning. If it's a document that you've scanned directly using a high-quality scanner, chances are that you're going to get a pretty clean OCR, as we have here. If you're trying to run OCR on a document that you received in fax, or perhaps an older document that was somewhat worn out, it'll probably have some problems. And the good news is that Acrobat includes a convenient tool for identifying and fixing those problems, and it's called OCR Suspects. All you have to do is click Find First OCR or Find First Suspect, And what Acrobat will do is it'll look through the OCR and it'll look for a word that it's not entirely sure it got the correct translation of it, or recognize the text properly. And all you can do is you can look at the image of the original here on the right, and then you can click on the text and see if it's correct. And if it's not, you can make a change by just typing it in. And when you've got the word the way it should be, you click Accept and Find, and it'll move on to the next word. You can also click the Find All Suspects option, and it'll highlight all of the potential incorrect words in red so that you can quickly move through a document and clean it up a little bit more quickly. Once you've finished OCRing and correcting the document, be sure to save it.